10 times out of 10, if I could do what I do in Oregon, I would rather live in Oregon. But like, as far as another place I have to live, I don't mind LA.
Yeah. I just remember being like, oh, it's February and I don't feel like I want to cry all day. Like, I can walk outside and like, you know.
If like none of your clothing is wet all day.
Yeah. Your pants. I mean, do you remember high school where like your pants were wet around here all the time?
They never got dry, and then they would like fray at the bottom because you didn't know how to buy pants that fit you like an actual adult. So then you would look like one of those trees from like Lord of the Rings that like moves like that, but like made out of wet denim. It was a bad look.
Everybody did that. Like,
I didn't because I mostly wore shorts. I was that kid in school. I wore shorts, 12 degrees out, gale force winds, and I'm there in bum equipment shorts.
Well, maybe you were right all along because your legs were gonna be just as cold and wet with pants. Exactly. We refuse to wear boots.
Showing off my calves, which has been a very important part of my career.
That's awesome. Well, I should ask you a little bit about your career. I mean, I know who you are. Everyone probably knows you're the head writer for the late show. I don't know. There's 2 lates in that one. Okay, I don't know how late it goes. The late show, but and you have a podcast, All Fantasy Everything, which is totally amazing. But you're also on a new show. Ooh, is that?
It's an All Fantasy Everything T-shirt made by the good folks at Trailblazing, which is a Portland area company.
Oh yeah, Trailblazing. They make cool stuff.
They're so cool. I have just like this is my where I've set up like a place to do like Skype interviews or whatever, this like Zoom and stuff. And it just happens to be like in my room where all my Trailblazing stuff is.
They have such cool stuff.
That's a 3XL for you.
Oh man.
I love that. I just love that stuff so much. We're very lucky as Blazer fans to have that.
I know. We have much better like gear than other fans, but we're also better people. So
we deserve it. We earned it.
We do deserve it. I mean, Damian Lillard is such a. This is not what I was going to talk to you about at all, but I'm sure you've been watching the Michael Jordan documentary because everyone else is doing the same thing all the time.
It's the only sports we have until my show comes out.
Yeah, we're like, oh, cool, basketball. Actually, this is really embarrassing, and please don't spoil this for me, but I don't know if the Bulls win in 1998. Whoa. I'm like the only person who doesn't know, and my husband just keeps like making fun of me so hard, and I'm like, I know I could Google it, but at this point, like this is
what little suspense. I mean, our whole lives is suspense, but it's nice to have no suspense right now. So,
yeah, I guess in 1998, I did not care about basketball, and especially not the Bulls. But yeah, I just keep thinking like, if this show was about Damian Lillard, it would just be like, wow, he's a really great guy and a great team member, and Michael Jordan's kind of a jerk.
He's a little bit of a jerk.
Yeah.
He is a little bit of a jerk, but I don't know, with those people, I don't know. It's like such a competitive environment to get to the NBA, you have to be an insanely competitive person anyway, and then to be insanely competitive for the NBA.
Right. To be like the best player of all time. Yeah.
Like being the most competitive, I don't know, like Wall Street trader or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, Damian Lillard's a much better person. Well, I mean, he's just like such a nice guy. Maybe, I think.
I've interacted with him a few times, and he's an absolute sweetheart every single time. We've been very CJ McCollum is so nice. I mean, Evan Turner and Meyers Leonard, who are both now, are both just like cupcakes. They're so nice.
I am a huge Meyers Leonard fan, and I was trying to get the nickname Meow Meow going for him for like the entire time he was here. And maybe I could get him on this show because the Blazers are hard to get, but Meyers, maybe, if I can convince him I'm a true fan.
Tell him it's about playing Fortnite. Just lie to him. Or whatever game I don't even know. It's one of those.
Maybe I could get his wife. She's really good at basketball too.
Elle is amazing. We went to I was lucky enough to go to NBA All-Star Weekend this year because I was working an event there. They had me hosting something, and Meyers, we were just like texting, and he was like, I'm going to this GOAT party, which is the sneaker app, GOAT, if anybody knows. And he was like, if you get here in 15 minutes, I can get you in. And I was like, I grabbed my girlfriend and we were like, rushed in there. And then we spent the evening just like sitting there talking with Meyers and Ellen. They're just like incredibly sweet people and like smart fucking, well, pardon my language. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Smart and just like, they're just cool. They're just cool. They're chill. You don't feel like sometimes when I say this to someone in show business, but like you'll be talking to like a famous person in a room where there are other famous people, and they have this kind of like talking to kind of like looking around the room, and they were both so engaged. It was just really pleasant. It was like
That's
nice,
awesome. Yeah, Meyers is the only basketball Blazer I've actually really met in real life, because once I went to a game with a friend when he was like a rookie, and we like left early and just ran into him, and he was like in this fancy sports car. He was so tall. So I have a picture of me and Meyers, and I come up to like his nipple. He's so tall.
Shockingly tall.
Yeah.
He's like there's a lot of people in the NBA who say they're 7 feet tall. He's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's crazy. To be that tall, I can't even imagine. Wow. Anyway, okay. We got all the important stuff out of the way. But wait, tell me about your new show. Tell me all about it.
It's called Game On, and it's premiering on CBS on the 27th of this month, on May 27th, which is a Wednesday. And it's like a sports competition show. Like the best way, it's a American version of a show called A League of Their Own, which was on in England. And the best way I can describe it is it's like half Legends of the Hidden Temple for adults. Like they build these like crazy obstacle courses for it. Like, some of it's like Double Dare. Like there was one where they built like an Arctic assault course where I had to jump off like a 30-foot platform. And you
get to do it?
I get to do it, yeah.
What? This is amazing.
Venus Williams, and then a rotating celebrity guest, which were like sometimes was like Landon Donovan or Gabriel Iglesias or oh my God, I always forget his name. The guy, he's on Veep. He was on
the skinny tall Veep. One. Oh,
the balding one who like goes. I'm going to Army now.
Oh. Yeah, Buster Bluth.
Buster Bluth, yeah.
Tony Hale.
Yeah. So like sometimes there's Tony Hale, and Tony Hale and I were on the same team, and we like Venus didn't want to jump off this 30-foot platform, and we're up there, and Tony's like, I'm so afraid of heights. I don't know why I agreed to do this. And like I told myself, I'm like, oh, you're on a harness. It's not going to be scary. And then once you get up there, you are jumping from 30 feet. Because the harness until you're like 5-10 feet down there, and you're like, and then it catches you, and you're like, oh shit, or oh my God, I keep cussing. But like for a second, you're like, oh my God, this like has been an elaborate ruse to kill me. Like Rube Goldberg put a hit out on me. How I die. But anyway, so part of it is that we're in the studio. Yeah. There was one where like they hung us from a harness again, and I had 2 baseball mitts on, and David Ortiz was hitting baseballs, and I had to try to catch as many of them as I could.
This is amazing.
It was so fun, and for a sports fan, it was like a dream come true. Like Terrell Owens and I were like dunking basketballs in a swimming pool. The other team is Rob Gronkowski and Bobby Lee, the comedian. And they would have a celebrity guest there. Like James Corden was one of them. My boss, and it was so much fun to film. And I've seen a couple of the episodes, and like obviously I'm going to tell you to watch it because it's what I do for a living. But like also, it's just so fun. It's like an hour packed with action. Like it never stops. It
really
never stops.
I wish
great. Sorry, go ahead. I keep.
Oh no, it just sounds really fun. When I was a kid, I grew up without a TV because my parents were, hippies kind of. But whenever I could watch Double Dare, like all you want is to be on that show. Like you just, that'd be so cool.
It's so fun. Although I should say on the Arctic assault course thing, it was covered in all this fake snow, and I was then and still am quite out of shape. So I was like breathing really heavy, and then like there was this part where you had to crawl underneath this like this like wire thing, and I'm breathing in all this fake snow, and I'm like, oh, like
you caught yourself. Good work.
Not myself. Yeah. I thought I shouldn't. I'm on a network TV show. I should. But I thought that was going to kill me. So it was like this crazy. Yeah.
There's lots of ways you can die, and one of them is the coronavirus.
That's the coronavirus.
And that's my segue to asking you: how are you? Are you totally social distancing? Or are you like holed up in a? What are you living? Where's your living situation?
I'm in my house that I live in Glendale, California, and I'm in the house that I rent in Glendale, California, and we're doing the Late Late Show completely remotely. There's new episodes every night, but James, they built a little studio in his garage, like one person at a time, which is crazy. Wow. And we do everything over Zoom and email, and it's hectic, and like the days are longer than they were before, but like I think to be able to keep working right now has been such a it's helped with my sanity, certainly personally, and then also seeing like what other people are like going through with like having their income go away and all that stuff. It's like I feel extremely lucky to have ever had this job, because it's like a crazy nice job, and then to be able to keep doing it during this, both for my sanity and then also so like because like as an entertainer and as a comedian, like these jobs pay you a lot of money, but they're also jobs where you're like, I might have a job for 4 years and then I might not have a job for 3 more years. Like that kind of thing. Like that's kind of how it is. So
right.
Be able to like keep it up and put money away, and then like, if something happens to my family or somebody in my family needs money, like I've just felt extremely lucky.
It's definitely a good time to keep a job. I completely understand. I'm like, I was already grateful for my job, but
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with you.
But then for like the non-bummer stuff, like I've been playing Animal Crossing like everybody else, which I love. I would have been playing it without a quarantine, if we're being 100% honest.
I guess I should play Animal Crossing. Like we have a Switch, and I got it. My husband and I got it like as a present for him, and right before I had a baby. And the only thing I ever play is Tetris, and it's really like disappointing to me because I just like love. I feel like I should get into video games, but I just love Tetris so much. Whenever I like hold the controller, I'm like, I gotta play Tetris again.
It's just like it's like a Pavlovian response.
Yeah, and it's a cool Tetris game where you're playing like 100 other people or something. I don't know. It's fun. It's lame.
Oh, beautiful. You should play. Animal Crossing is like a pleasant life simulator. It's like really all you go outside, you pick fruit, you cut down trees, you go fishing. Like it's anytime you pitch it to someone, it sounds so boring, and then you start playing it, and it's just like then you fiend for it. It's so much fun.
Okay, I'll do it. I think I'll do it. I mean, I also, like I said, I have this baby who she's wonderful in every way. Also, like, really demanding. So that's what I feel grateful for, actually.
You can be like,
oh God, she can move around now, so you have to like really keep an eye on her. She like loves plastic bags, of course. Plastic bags and like cords,
Handguns. She loves handguns.
We're like, oh, we can't leave our handgun out anymore. Kidding. We don't have any guns. Are you like, do you live in an actual house, not an apartment? So that's nice. That's a benefit. Do you have a yard?
I have a front yard, and then in the back there's in LA they like cram as much stuff in as possible. So there's like 3 much smaller houses in the back, and then I live in the front house, which is slightly bigger. And then Zach Toscani, who's also a Portland comedian, lives with me. So he's I don't know. I think he left. Yeah. He lives with me. Sean Jordan used to, and then he moved back to Portland, who's another Portland comedian. And
Sean Jordan's back in Portland? I didn't know that.
In Portland currently. And I think probably, I mean, he's going to live in both cities, but like mostly Portland now. Yeah, he's getting married. He's got a wonderful fiance, and so he's back home.
That's awesome. I should interview Sean next. Well, okay, I'm not going to do all comedians, but comedians I kind of know.
Shane's got time. He's stuck in Los Angeles too.
Wow. Oh yeah, I have Shane on my list. I love Shane.
He's got some pretty crazy Corona stuff.
Yeah, he used to work at Crema when I first moved back here, and I spent like all my time at Crema for some reason. Just
Crema is where I wrote all of my stand-up comedy. Everything I ever wrote when I was in Portland, I would go and sit at Crema, and I would write, and I would get a coffee, and obviously I would get a coffee.
Breakfast sandwich?
I would get any variety of their challah was great.
I love their breakfast sandwiches. Like, I will at this point go, well, obviously not now, but I would drive far out of my way to go to Crema because I don't live nearby anymore. Sadly.
Yeah.
But,
I love Crema.
I love
Hopefully
Crema too.
we'll be okay through all this.
Yeah, that's the thing that's sort of like really depressing. Well, there's obviously like a million things that are so depressing, but I live in Southeast Portland, and our Lita Library, which is my favorite breakfast place, is closed for good. And like, how many more of these places?
Oh yeah, it's the next bummer.
I know. Yeah, there's just so many bummers. But let's see, what are you cooking at all?
I was cooking a little bit, and then I was like ordering in like a lot because we're no joke working like sometimes 12 to 16-hour days, and like I was ordering food, and it got to be an issue. I already struggle with my weight in regards to how it affects my health, like appearance wise, doesn't really bug me, but like health wise. So I signed up for one of these meal delivery services actually that like they bring like 2 actual meals and then one little like it's broccoli and like cauliflower to eat like around lunch kind of thing. Okay. And then for some reason, the way my brain works is I'm very like, I need to be if I'm going to be eating healthy, I need to be like strict about it. If I start giving myself exceptions, like all of a sudden I'm eating an cheesecake. You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, I get it. I think like that's for me is I have to have like structure and rules for myself in anything, or else like I can't really go to bars because I don't want to smoke cigarettes. Like that's like how I have to go like 2 steps ahead of myself to be like, I know I have no self-control in certain places, so I have to like exert.
You have to outsmart yourself before yourself outsmarts yourself. Like exactly. I totally get it. Yeah.
And this is a perfect situation to practice outsmarting yourself.
Yeah,
like
it really is. That's the thing about it is when they're like, that's been my silver lining is like the temptations that are so ever present any other time are like gone now. Like even it used to be the office kitchen sometimes. I would go in there and like, and then I'd walk out with cheeks full of cashews like a squirrel and like, you know what I mean? Like stuff I thought was like harmless, and then you start adding it up and it's like, oh, okay.
Just 1,000 calories of nuts. Yeah. Well, for me, I would also like at work, I will always go out and pay for tea. Like, why? I have like free tea bags everywhere, all over my home and desk, but I just like love leaving the office to go get tea.
It's a ritual. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We're saving a lot of money. Yeah. Because I'm not allowed out of the house. Okay, I have some let's see some like silly questions. And I'll just ask you fast these questions and you can just skip if you want. How about that? Okay. If you could be coronavirus lockdown with any Blazer from any team in history, which one would it be?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thanks. I didn't come up with it. That's my coworker, Eder. He thought of that one.
Good question, Eder. My favorite Blazer of all time is Rasheed Wallace, and I think he'd be really fun. He'd just have a bunch of amazing stories, but I don't know if I want to be locked up with him. It could be like a volatile situation. God, that's a good. I
mean, we can come back to it if you want to just think about it.
It's a question. Let's come back to it. Yeah.
Okay. What is the furthest place you've gone from your house since this lockdown started? Yeah.
I've been to San Francisco a couple times because my girlfriend lives in San Francisco, and so I'll leave my house, drive up, go to her place. So it's literally just seeing one other person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have a Prius, so it's like the whole. I mean, I have to get gas with them there, but you got to
Right.
get gas every night anyway.
Yeah.
So I've been to San Francisco a couple times, but that's been the furthest.
That's not bad. Okay, that's good. What's the craziest thing that you've bought during this lockdown?
That I've purchased?
Yes.
I haven't really bought a lot of stuff. I haven't really done
no online shopping.
I haven't really. I've gotten like spent quite a lot of money on marijuana.
Any like crazy edibles, or is it just
not crazy edibles? I bought like a $50 joint because I was like, "What's that like?" And it just also gets you stoned. It's so not worth it. Like
it's not like a $50 shot of whiskey or something.
It's not. Even that I wouldn't really enjoy. I've had like when you're in show business, and maybe this is true in other industries, and I only am familiar with my own. Like,
not mine, whatever it is.
Anytime like something good happens, like people send you all these gifts, you know. So like somebody sent me like Don Julio 1942, which is like a $200 bottle of tequila, and it's good. It's probably better than like, I don't know, like what you would get at like Casamigos or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's not so good that you're like, yeah, I get why we pay $200. For some people, that just doesn't, you know.
Does it give you less of a hangover? Like I always thought, if you spend more on alcohol,
get me drunk. If we're being honest, because it's so.
Wait,
expensive.
Say that again. Yeah, maybe that's the thing.
I'm afraid to drink it to get me drunk. Yeah.
So that's why, like, expensive alcohol doesn't give you as bad of a hangover because it costs too much.
So you're like, is this $78 for this? Yeah, you're like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, just one tiny sip. I've never had alcohol that costs $78, but no one ever gives me those kind of gifts. Let's see. What's the weirdest thing that you've done to keep yourself busy?
Oh, I'm just weird in general. I like. If I'm home alone, and there's no TV or music playing, within 5 minutes, I'll start walking around making weird noises and just like talking to myself. If there's like an intro, the other day, like I was listening to Pearl Jam for the first time because I'd never listened to Pearl Jam other than like the songs we all know.
Right.
And I was like, let's see what Pearl Jam's all about. And within like, I was also really, really stoned, but within like 5 minutes, I was just freestyle rapping over the instrumentals. I'm not good at it. It's not. I would never do it before. Well, I was so baked that I was like, "You're really good at this. This is amazing."
That does sound kind of awesome, though. Maybe you are really good at it. You know, like there's two possibilities. You could be really bad at it, but you could also be really good at it.
You might be amazing at it. I might be. If this goes on for as long as they think it's going to, we might get an album out of it. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe record it next time just to see what happens. And what is like? Is there anything that you actually enjoy about this lockdown situation?
Well, I talked about the eating healthier thing. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't hate it that much. I don't like the what we're being asked to do, and like other, you know, like outside of the obvious stuff, like worrying about my family and being so far away from them because I'm down here in LA and they're all up in Portland. And outside of that, and like my little sister had to move her wedding, and that was a bummer. But like outside of that, like I can stay home. I'm like fine with it. I'm like, even for this long, I'm not going as stir crazy a lot as a lot of other people are. So I'm reading a lot. I'm watching stuff that like that part. I'm like, I have enjoyed. Is that a Beaverton accent?
That classic Beaverton accent.
My father is from Brooklyn, New York, and there is no Oregon accent. And I grew up with a very big, for whatever reason, very influenced by his. We're New York Jews, so I inherited the accent from him.
I think that's good because I think the lack of accent from Oregon it's been a constant bane in my existence. Just growing up being like,
where are you from? I still say crick every now and then. Don't worry. My mom is from the Southeast. I'll still say crick and Orsh.
When I was in high school, I was an exchange student in South Africa, and all the kids there said said I sounded like a newscaster. They thought I was like the most hilarious specimen.
Because you have the non-regional accent.
Yeah. Like, no, I'm from a place. But it's between California and Canada. That's what you'd have to say to explain it.
It is between, yeah. And both of those have accents. We should just start picking up that like weird mid-Atlantic, like 1950s movie star accent and adopt that as like cool. Yeah. You know what? We start talking like this.
Then we have something. Okay, did you think of the blazer?
Yeah. Say what?
Did you think of the blazer?
I haven't thought of anything that is either funny or clever or even like reasonable. I guess I'll go with Rashid. I think like he's mellowed out. We have a lot of good stories. And
yeah, I bet you'd be fun.
Even if we did feud, like then that's something we had that day to distinguish it from the next one.
Right. I mean, that adds some sort of drama. I think we should wrap this up because it's been about half an hour and I hear my baby crying downstairs.
Oh, no.
But
absolutely.
Before we go, I'm supposed to ask you, what could you say congratulations to the class of 2020 for a possible future video? And if you had any advice for the class of 2020, what would it be?
Oh boy. Okay. Congratulations to the class of 2020.
Perfect.
Is that good?
That was so good.
And, advice for the class of 2020. Learn to swim, bro. No, I don't know.
That's good advice. But they should have done that a while ago because it's hard to learn to swim as an adult.
You know, into a community center, they'll get you in the pool early, and you get a little patch. God,
trying to think of what advice I would give the class of 2020. I mean, you can come over here. So the baby's going to be on the show for a second. Come here.
I think
Ian.
Oh, hello.
Okay.
So cute.
She's so cute.
There's hi. My advice for 25-year-old graduates, or my advice for the class of 2020, is that whatever you want to do, like, there's nothing that is. I mean, people say nothing's impossible, but like obviously, I'm never going to become like the welterweight champion of the world. But like, whatever it is you want to do it as hard as you can, and treat it like your job, even before it's your job. Like, whatever you want to do it really hard and like treat it like it's your job before it's your job. And that's the only way I know how to get anything done, especially like the cooler jobs, like the ones I've been able to do. It's that, or have a dad who also is in that industry. And those are the only two ways to do it.
That is, I agree with you. Perfect advice. You got to work hard. Okay. Well, thank you so
much. One question before we go.
Yeah.
Zach, I'm on with Lizzy Acker from the Oregonian.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what should I ask Zach? Oh, cool. Have you cut your own hair this quarantine, Zach, or are you just letting it grow?
I've been growing it out, so it's kind of like a renaissance for me.
Oh, it's cool.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like yours a lot too.
Thank you. Yeah, we're back. We're back to nature, the two of us.
Yeah,
I am. I'm wearing lots of barrettes to make it look like I have a style in my hair.
Yeah, with longer, like constantly in my face.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good for like health.
Like my comedy. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. Well, this has been really great. Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you, Zach. And yeah, this is awesome. Julie, I guess Julie's the secret person to people watching. Julie, I think we're done.